So tell me what you want to focus on today. What would be your goal?
Well, my goal is, I think of lately I've been realizing that my claustrophobia is more than just a little thing, it's a bigger thing. I think all the time that I was thinking everybody else had this same problem, but lately, as I've been out with Anderson, I've been looking at him and I'm noticing he's not having the same issue I am. Like, for instance, we'll go see music at night. We're in a crowded place. And we're in the corner, and I am totally feeling stuck up in that corner. And I'm looking around at everyone else, and nobody else seems to be concerned. I'm looking for the exits, trying to figure out how can I get out of here. And so I'll say to him, I just need to get out of here. But I can't get out myself. I need him to lead me out. Okay. We went to a daytime music thing out in a big outside amphitheater, huge, under the sun and the trees around it, and you would think that would be fine. But when I saw how close the seats were in the stadium, going through those people just seemed impossible. So I said, could you take me through there? So he held my hand and we went through. And we sat down, and then he was like, it's just way too hot under the sun. I'm going to go back to the under the tree. Do you want to go? And I thought, I don't want to have to go back through those people. So I said, I'll wait here. And then people started coming in and sitting around me and back of me, and I started to think I should have left then, because now I'm closed in. On a plane, always have the aisle seat. Just... trying to think
so do you remember when this started for you? Or the first incident you can remember?
It's funny because I grew up in a house where my mom was always talking about claustrophobia. So for a long time I always thought, did I just pick this up from her? Is this that I just think?
Did she think the house you were living in was claustrophobic, or she just talked about claustrophobia?
She always was talking about, oh, it feels so closed in, or not the house we lived in, but just remember her talking about it a lot. And then I did have that incident where I was held hostage.
Yes.
And so after that, I noticed new things coming up. I always kind of, whenever there's a crowd, I want to be on the outskirts of the crowd. I never want to be in the middle of the crowd. But after that, I found myself even having trouble sitting in the back seat of someone's car. I would just feel very anxious.
So it's situations where you feel you don't have a lot a options.
There's no way out. The tunnel. I had done some work around this tunnel when I first started coming here, and we did the
anchors.
And that really helped me in that tunnel. But then I noticed that recently I went through another tunnel, and I was thinking, when is the tunnel going to end? Where is the end of this tunnel? When am I going to see light?
Is it worse when you're a passenger or when you're driving, or is it equally as difficult for you?
I'd say usually I'm driving. It probably would be worse if I was a passenger.
Okay.
I prefer to drive.
You prefer to drive. Okay. All right. So most recently, the most difficult one was this outdoor concert.
Yes.
Can you remember how intense that was in terms of the SUD scale from 0 to 10? Think about it.
I'll say
tune into it.
Like an 8.
An 8?
7 or 8.
Now, as you talk about it, can you kind of go back to that feeling, or is it more just a memory of it?
No, I can go back to that.
Go back to the 7 or 8? Okay, what happens in your body when you feel those feelings? Churning?
Churning, yeah.
Anything you say to yourself internally?
I just want to get out of here.
Get out of here. Those are good words.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what would you like to do with this feeling today? Do you want to do some regression therapy, some EFT? What do you want? How do you want to proceed?
Yeah, I think I want to do some regression therapy.
Okay, all right. Is it okay with you if you go back to your hostage situation? If that's where it goes?
Yes.
Okay, because we don't know if it's going to go to past life, present life, in utero.
True.
It could be anything.
Yes.
Okay, you're open to that. All right. So as we work you speak up on your own behalf. If you need to slow down, if you don't want to go there, if you need to take a break, if you can't understand me, speak up, because it helps me support your process as it unfolds.
Okay.
So just really empower yourself in that way, and then I can support you.
All right.
Okay? So the goal is going to be to free you of these claustrophobic experiences, whether you're in a concert or in a tunnel or you're in the passenger seat.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be the goal. And we're starting with the 7 or 8 intensity when you think about this recent time.
Yes.
Okay, we'll know by looking at the sense level at the end if it's shifted for you, and then you can test it out.
Okay.
Okay. So higher self, be present in support of this session today, and allow the session to go wherever it needs to go to support the releasing of this claustrophobia. And we ask for the highest good from this time that we'll share today, for your evolution and freedom and growth. So with those intentions, I invite you to take a few deep breaths. When you're holding the neurotech, just be aware of the systematic pulsing back and forth. And as you're sitting, think back to that experience of that outdoor theater. And having Anderson with you, and being forced to move through the crowds into the seats that you've got reserved for your tickets. And then him wanting to leave to get in the shade for a while, and you say, nope, stay here. It's too difficult. And that churning sensation that begins in your belly area when you realize that there are more people gathering, sitting around you. You're being more and more contained in your space. And the words that come to mind are,
I just want to get out.
I want to get out. Okay. So follow those words and the body sensations, that churning in your stomach area, and the emotion that comes up. What's the emotion or emotions that you feel? How would you describe the emotions?
Anxious or
Anxious, okay. So feel the anxious feelings. Say those words to yourself. I want to get out. Feel the churning, and let's follow the wisdom of your body and your inner voice back to the source of this claustrophobia. Way, way back in time to the source. 1 as I count to 10. 2, higher self guiding you, feeling those words. I want to get out. 3, feeling the anxiety. 4, going back in time. 5, back to the source. 6, higher self guiding you. 7, 8, 9, another time and place now. 10. All of your inner knowing come into play now. What's happening?
it's strange because I feel like I'm a man, and I feel like I am buried up to my neck in sand.
Okay, look around you as you see what kind of terrain are you in right now?
It's like desert. It feels deserty, I guess.
Deserty.
Kind of.
Okay, so let's go back to the incidents that led up to this being buried in sand. Let's discover what this journey of this man has been about. So I invite your higher self to take you back a little farther in this past life to a significant event that's led up to this being buried in the sand. As I count to 3, go back to the significant event. 1, 2, 3. Now, what are you aware of now? What's happening?
It's strange because it feels like I was. I feel like I cheated on, or I was with a woman who was another man's wife.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I was on a horse and there were I feel like it was brothers, his brothers following me or something like. I feel like the brothers followed me and.
Whose brother followed you?
The brothers of the man whose wife that I slept with.
Okay. And he's following you.
They're all following me. Him and his brothers are following me out of town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this feels like tumbleweeds and sagebrush kind of is the feeling I'm getting.
So what time period does it feel like you're in? What environment do you feel like you're in?
I feel like I'm in the West. I'm in the wild, wild West, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know, 1800s or...
Okay. And what's your life like? You're having this affair, but what else is your life like?
Oh, I'm just, going from town to town, looking for work.
Uh-huh. What kind of work do you look for?
I'm a cowhand.
Mm-hmm.